Hey guys, Kronos Dual Blade here. Sorry if my voice is a little messed up. I don't know why it is. I'm feeling fine, but this will be one of our Kaling practices. It's pretty recent, and I'm just gonna do some commentary. Unfortunately, I didn't get to record the comms. Well, so you're just gonna hear me talk. So yeah, this is just typical bird stuff. And right now we're about to burst, and I will lead with my origin. Boom pow, Jenny, really handy. And we try our best to do a chunk. In future runs and future practices, I start taking note of when test actually happens. But right now, I'm just kind of going by feeling, which is a huge mistake because I believe I messed up my burst at some point during this. So yeah, typical bird whacking stuff, keep hitting the chicken, nothing crazy. I prefer to stay on top of the boss. So there's test, hit the thingy, super easy, bird is super chill. I find bird to be pretty fun. I haven't really tried the other animals, but the movement really helps here as a dual blade. I could just jump around and blade ascension all over the place. It feels really good. As you can see, my partner's trying his best, then he gets smacked around. But don't worry, I also get smacked around a lot too, so yeah, we both have a hand problem. So yeah, I don't really like it when bird's in the corner, but alas, the bird's there. And it's like, uh-oh. I think I'm trying to get strings here, yeah. That's another thing that I've noticed too, in Kaling at least. I guess since the run is much longer, everyone's really prone to making mistakes. It's just bound to happen. So we're just trying our best to really stay on top of balancing gauge. And you really have to just remember what string does what and take note, like whatever side you're on, and like if you have to peel off to balance gauge, it's definitely worth it than being super greedy. Okay, we do test, nothing crazy. Although I don't know what happened there, but the gauge is looking kind of sus, but I already know what happens. Somehow we don't fail this practice. Well, we do fail this practice, but we do get to phase 2, so that's handy. And I try to take a yellow string to get more purple. And I don't know what I'm doing here. So right now there's a bug with Asura. If you use it, the sound just loops for the rest of the fight. So I just lowered my volume. And blue's getting low, so I stand in greens. And the greens in the left side where their green strings are. And purple's high, but it's okay. We can just take a couple of bird hits, bird flight, to lower it. What was definitely notable was, since things are very much prone to go awry, we mostly had to keep blue gauge higher, because things can go wrong in dog, and then blue gets really low. Well, we mostly stay in the green string side here. So I burst, kind of, do my thing, nothing crazy. Try not to get slapped around by the chicken. And yeah. DB movement, woohoo. Iframe. Really handy, the iframes. I love spamming the iframes in this fight. Especially when it's like, uh-oh, I don't know if I want to take this string, so I just kind of pop it whenever I can. Look at that shmovement, the shmove. DB shmove. One problem that we found, at least with my, look at that shmovement, holy moly. So, at least with my partner, it's a Nightwalker. I don't know much about Nightwalkers, but this is also like a weird flex for being a dual blade. What's really handy about dual blade is their burst just kind of is like 10 seconds and that's it, call it a day, right? Which is really nice because in bird, you only have like 15 seconds to burst it whenever you can with the origin. And then eventually it's just gonna fly. And it happens pretty quickly. And if you're not keeping track of test, then when you think it's safe to burst right after fly, and you're not keeping track of test happens, and it's like, well, you just wasted it. Alright, so luckily, dog died, so our reinforcements are coming. There's our backup. The two juicers of this comp is a Juicy Evan and a Bishop, of course. And so where was I going with it before the topic? Oh yeah, so the Nightwalker's burst takes way longer than 15 seconds. It's hard for them to get everything off in that short time frame, so that made me feel good about being a dual blade, even though Nightwalkers are fucking strong. And especially this one, he's really strong. Alright, I think we've... Or did I pop buffs too early? I don't remember. I think I popped my 60s too soon. This is why after this had happened in the later practices, which I don't have on footage yet, I start keeping track of tests myself, and it happens about every minute. And the way I do that is I have like a external timer on my computer, and after the first test I just track it, and when it's about to hit a minute I warn about test, and then I reset it immediately after. And it helped a lot. The only annoying thing is like the little, you don't see it in this footage, but the external timer takes like a little tiny section on the window, on the display screen, but it's really handy. Okay, so we're just doing test. Bird so easy. Test is really freaking easy, and it's party time soon. You know, Bishop got the bubble. Getting the buffs up. Oh, I gotta say, holy shit. The AB being like instant cast feels so fucking good. You like save a whole ass second or more pressing that thing, and it's super good. It's so nice. So thanks to our backup squad, we destroyed Bird. And now we're like, by this point, we're probably like, where's Tiger? Where's Tiger? Is it safe? You know, stuff like that. In later practices, I actually don't use my burst for the last portion of Bird, so I get to save it, although we kind of stay in Tiger for a while where it would probably come back up anyway. And I think what happens is, if you don't go in the portal soon enough, you just get taken there, so it's better to go as soon as you can, when it's safe, of course. So me personally, I am really scared of the Tiger area. He's humongo, and his back attack has always caught me, and like that attack really jumps up the blue gauge. So I am really scared here in general, and I prefer to just help balance the gauge up top or below. Other than that, you kind of just keep track of FMA. Luckily someone in the party is doing that, so you just don't want to be on the same plane as the Tiger. And if ever he's near me, I just kind of flash jump away, because like I said, his back attack is super fucking fast. It's not, I cannot react to it. Also, me personally, I have no idea what I mean, I get the mechanics of Tiger. You have to like set up these triangles and have him stand in it to do max damage. And I tried it myself, I just could not deal with it. So thankfully we have other people that have been doing it. So yeah, I'm just here taking strings, making sure the gauge is balanced. And so are some other party members that are not DPSing the Tiger. Otherwise, you just kind of chill here. Try your best not to grief the run. But yeah, I'm just like, oh man, there's that fucking attack I was talking about. That shit is so fucking fast. So yeah, I'm just dipping. Yellow was really low, so I got red string. Yeah, just chilling. That's all there is to it here. Another weird thing I found personally is, I believe to clear puddles you have to interact with these like tiny inkwell nibs, but I think holding my interact key also activates the aggro button, so I don't really know what you're supposed to do with that. There's puddles. I don't want to get puddles. Another thing we try to keep in mind for later practices is, since there's a high likelihood puddles will happen even though we have Jenny in P2, is to compensate by having blue really low, so that even if we sit on puddles a little bit, we won't totally gauge out. So we've taken notes on that as well. And even though you didn't hear it in this footage, where, you know, there's some comms happening. Like, where's Tiger? Oh shit, there's this dashy dash. There's that fucking backdash attack I was talking about. That shit was so fucking fast. Turns out we did gauge out, so that sucks. So we figured to just push this and see if we can even burst down the next phase. But luckily in the run after this, we get to phase 2 without gauging out, so that's good. I believe we get out of phase 1 in about 15 minutes, or less or more, and according to some other people, that makes it really tight, which is okay. We definitely have the damage for P2, but we're having trouble just doing some new timings and stuff, because now most of us have Genesis, and we just have to get used to timing when to Origin and make most of our damage. And it might seem dire or impossible, but every other boss run before this, like Easy Kalos, Normal Kalos, and even Easy Kaling, when we were practicing those runs, every time it seemed like it was impossible. I don't know if we have enough damage. At least that's what I was thinking myself. I'm not a negative Nancy all the time, but somehow, some way, we've overcome that, and without changing our composition or kicking people, we've always had the damage. It was just a matter of just getting used to stuff. And over time, as we kept practicing a bit by bit, we cleared. And now we clear N-Kalos consistently, and E-Kaling is also really consistent. P3 is the only part where things can get really crazy. So yeah, even though we've already gauged out on blue, we're still trying to make sure it looks good. And it's good practice, just getting used to like dodging Tiger, his big ass, and balancing out the gauge. So yeah, we're just kind of chilling. Luckily, in this party as well, we have another member that is also recording footage, recording VODs for us to review and take notes. Super helpful, and that is the Bishop. I'm very grateful because lately recording VODs for this game has really like dropped my FPS. It's very notable. For example, when I'm recording this VOD, I get hit immediately inside bird, but when I'm not, I don't have to deal with that most of the time. Luckily in this run though, in general, it doesn't suffer so much, but yeah, I'm really glad not to have to record any VODs. Especially for if it's a long run. Okay, I think we're about to burst because Bishop's up. Bishop bubble. And then after we burst it down, or whatever we do, DPS it down, we pray to God that we can blast P2. And from that point on, we're just practicing making P1 a lot smoother, a lot less mistakes, and making P2 go instantly with no problems as well. Surely, we're gonna phase soon. My burst has been ready for a while. Look at that Nightwalker doing some backdashes, so fancy. And there's Tiger. I shit my pants and I ran away. I don't know. I get that like weird icon on me. I don't know what the hell that is. I didn't study the Tiger spreadsheet enough or whatever. Oh, there's FMA and I fucking eat shit. What's funny is in that moment, they already had called out where he was, and I had plenty of time to react, but I don't know, I just had like a brain fart and like stood there, and I jumped to hookshot up, but yeah, I ate shit, so. And yet somehow with just 70 willpower, we get to phase 2. Obviously we don't intend to do that in a real run, but It's just practice. No point in really like, what's it called? Taking it too seriously. It just feels, it's just good to just get used to the whole, you know, the whole dynamic and the flow of things. All right, and I'm just mashing my buff buttons because we're just chilling. Look at this weird rhombus we're making. I'm so glad I'm not a, oh fuck me, God bless, I have an iframe. I'm so glad I'm not in the tiger team. It's just too much to handle. They gotta make fucking shapes and shit. I'm so glad I'm on Team Bird. Surely, okay, yeah, look at that. They're making some D&D dice shape right now. And yeah, there's the, uh-oh, there's a bunch of shit happening. I'm like, all right, fuck that, I'm out of there. Where the strings at? All right, tiger's dead. All right. Now is the moment to burst. P2, normal Kaling. Here it comes. Okay, we jump in. I Jenny right away. I whiff my flashbang, woohoo. I'm in the bishop bubble, and I just let shit rock. So one of the notable things that we've noticed is that unfortunately we origined too fast, too soon, and we couldn't get out enough damage to push. So we have to work on delaying origining right away, because otherwise she'll just fly away. Hopefully I get to show off more practices, but yeah, that's all.